Okay, not much time to record any flying at the moment, but I did have a few people asking about my graphic settings in DCS and what I'm running, so I thought I'd take a chance to quickly jump in and show those off. Now I know nothing about graphics and even less about computer hardware, so do not expect a in-depth study of settings and what they do. But quickly I'll run through what I have. Now as far as my system, it's in the description. I've got a pretty outdated one now, about 4 or 5 years old. It's an i7 8700K 3.7 gigahertz processor. I've got a 1080 Ti graphics card, which is not too bad, but not current gen by any standards. 32 gigabytes of RAM. I've got an M.2 SSD, which is the only thing I've upgraded in that time, and I highly recommend it. Made a big difference for me having the M.2 drive. With the stutters I used to get, I pretty much get none now. And apart from that, 24-inch monitor. I don't have the system to go any higher at the moment, and it's doing the job, even though I'd love a little bit bigger. And actually, sorry about that, I've got 27-inch. Yeah, definitely don't want to go more than 27, so yeah, 27 is fine by me. And as far as the peripherals, I've got HOTAS Thrustmaster Warthog and the Decade, a pair of Satec pedals underneath my feet, which you can probably hear in the background. They are loud as anything and clunky and don't have any finite control, but get the job done. Now I'm not running any VR. I don't see the point in running VR with the system I've got, so I will hold off until probably next year or the year after, when the electronics around the world settle down, if they ever do, or I probably should jump in now before it goes even more crazy. But anyway, there's the settings that I am running. Now I am a shocker at compromising, so I can afford to put a lot of these down, I reckon, but I just want everything high, and I will stretch as far as I can. So textures, terrain, well, civilian traffic doesn't matter too much, but that's high. Water high. Visibility range I've got down on high from extreme, so I've dropped that one down. Heat blur I've got low. I read that doesn't really do much between high and low visually, so kept that low. Shadows I've kept high. Resolution obviously, cockpit of resolution of cockpit displays I've got 1024 instead of every frame, so that is slightly reduced. I've got MSA maxed, depth of field, motion blur I never run with, so they're always off. Lens flare I was running dirt and flare, but now I just leave it on none. Not sure how much impact that has, but I don't mind running that off. Clouds I've got on ultra because I love my clouds and I just can't compromise. Now this is where I've got everything lowered, so I've pretty much always had this off, and I figure if I don't know what I'm missing, I might as well leave it off, so that's why all this is off. I can up that a fair bit. So yeah, that might be doing me a few frames saving there. Now up here I definitely can reduce this a bit. Even if I hit high preset here, I'll probably reduce it. So, but I want my least pop in as I can get, so I'll push that as far as I can, and then adjust that if I need to, if I really get stuck. But filtering I've got halved there. I'm not sure how much different that one makes, but that's what I've got it on. VSync I've got on for recording because I usually run with OBS, and that is a bloody resource hog, and I have a lot of lost frames, so I try balance that with having VSync on. Currently I'm on Shadow Play because it records smoother. Even just turning OBS on in the background kills frames even without recording, so Shadow plays smoother, but I have all sorts of audio problems because my mic, I have no idea why Realtek drivers are such a pain in the butt, but every computer I've had Realtek drivers, I've just had no luck with microphones, and they're pretty much non-existent. As far as voice, and I've got to boost everything up the wazoo. But anyway, that's my settings that I'm running. Now, my actual frames, let's jump into, let's go Marianas. Free fly to do, and this is the most probably resource heavy map at the moment for me. Now I've got, I don't think it's actually recording at the frame counter in the top right. And I've got the DCS frame counter in the top left, so between the two I'll try read it out because it's a bit hard to see that DCS one. And we'll see what I get because my frames aren't all that crash hot. It doesn't look too bad when I'm flying or recording, but yeah, they're not that great. Let's just get tracker set up. Alright, so just sitting here, I'm on mid 40s and it's not around any of the cities, so let's get in the air. And have a look. So immediately drop down to the low 30s. Currently reading 32, 33. Now I find in a flight sim, if I'm above 30, I'm not doing too badly, and it is more than manageable. It's when I get into the 20s that I find is, yeah, I'm on 30 at the moment. Even 25 is not too bad. As long as I can move my head around in tracker, I'm okay with. Still in the 30s, so it's not too bad at all. And like I said, I can reduce a lot of graphic settings back there if I wanted to, so this is me being greedy, but I find this manageable. Now I threw my last video up in the smaller islands, so frames of course are a lot better. And I find trees generally are the biggest hog. So let's see what that is. I'm on 29 at the moment. Yeah, I'm dropping down to 26, so looking around I'm starting to get a bit of lag. And I wouldn't really want to go below 25. Just picking up a little bit now. Back to 28. And yeah, I mean these trees, like I said, it's the one thing I can easily compromise on, and I'll probably have to do it once I get to a campaign and things start happening. Reflected's got a Huey campaign coming out from Marianas, and yeah, a bit worried about that one, performance-wise, so I'll definitely have to compromise some to be playing that, but yeah, overall, not too bad. Let's see if we can get to a city. I just realised I can time compress here. And yeah, there we go. Not advisable to fly in time compression, but we're okay, we're alive. Let's just get to this main city up here. Alright, let's just get low and have a look around here. So I'm down to the 20s as expected. Obviously if I'm up higher in a jet, a lot better, but even that, I mean I'm at 27, 28. I can live with it, jump right up to 35 then. Start to increase the more I get away from that airport looking that way. Like I said, the trees are probably the biggest hog. The less trees you got scattered around. But yeah, I'm not sure how that's coming up on video. I'm probably losing a few frames just by recording as well, so if I wasn't doing that I'd probably have a bit more improvement. Anyway, that's the Marianas. Let's go have a look at another map. Kind of interested to see. Alright, so onto the Persian Gulf, and immediately we are showing 60, 59 frames, so let's get in the air. It's pretty cool. Have a look at this. Still holding above 50, and you can see the difference when I'm looking around. So much smoother. And I find these older maps between this one, Nevada and Caucasus, all much the same. In the 50s, high 40s. And sometimes get up to 60 frames, but yeah, chalk and cheese between the these ones and the newer maps, which generally hold much the same I'm finding. As far as performance between the channel, Syria and the Marianas, yeah, still 57, runs beautifully this map. Still looks great, as does Nevada, and even I still love the Caucasus. Always gets a bit of a bag in, but geez, that can be beautiful at times. The main difference is the streets, because it hasn't got defined streets in the cities, and it's more just cat out on the ground, so that's where it falls short, but still beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, frames no problems at all on this with those settings. I could even bump a few of the other ones up if I'm on these maps. But it is nice to have that level of frame rate, that's for sure. I really love a new system so I can play all maps at this speed. Alright, so I might just jump into Syria, just have a look at that, because that's one of the hugest maps we have, so let's see how that goes. Alright, so we jump into Syria, and what is that, Beirut ahead of me, isn't it? And my frames currently 40, low 40s, 42, 43. Now I've got low light behind me, so what is that, sunrise, sunset? I think it's sunset. And I find low level light is probably the biggest hit on frames for me in any map. Still holding 40s. Let's push it up a bit. And this is one of the biggest cities. I've got that where's that nav beacon on? That's a bit annoying, but that's okay, we won't be here long. Still holding mid 30s. Like I've said, for me that is manageable. People are probably laughing and saying that's terrible, but for me, I've always found that not too bad in any sim. Still up to 39, so this is going quite better than I thought. I thought it'd be in the 20s by now. Still holding on the tight turns. Yeah, this is quite good. Definitely improved this map, 100%. From release, so Marianas is a bit newer, so it needs a bit of time. I reckon that's going to improve in the coming months. As we see Beirut Airport out there, we might take a little fly down to there, I reckon, to finish this off. Gosh, this is a good map. Absolutely mind-blowing, the scope of it. Always had attempted to go under. I haven't tried it before. I reckon that would fit. But yeah, it's been a while since I hit Cyprus too, so I don't mind getting back to there. But anyway, yeah, so that's my frames. They're not all that crash hot. They don't look too bad in videos and while I'm flying, but yeah, definitely not anything great, and I've definitely got room to move as well as far as the settings as we come in over the airport. And yeah, it's pushing up into the 40s again, or 50s when I look that way. Yeah, up around 50 now, so that's what I was getting on the Persian Gulf. So as soon as you get away from the built-up areas, this map is quite good. Where am I going? Yeah, we come in around the terminals. So we're going to do a hot landing. 47 looking in the sun there. I'm pretty happy with that. Routes, international airports. Put it down. Soft as we can, and that'll do us a slide. So yeah, that's my settings. I don't know if that's going to help anyone, but yeah, that's what I'm running. I'll quickly jump back to the main screen. Now, if anyone has any suggestions and thinks I'm absolutely crazy running what I'm doing with any of these, and they don't think it would make any difference and to visuals and think I can get some frames, let me know. But yeah, that's what I'm running. I might put up a picture of my setup on my desk here, because it's not pretty at all. Pretty average all around, but that is my system. Hope that was informative, and I will hopefully be back for an actual flying video in the not too future. I've still got the Persian Gulf, what is Operation Persian Freedom, to finish off with a Warthog, which probably be my next video.